Turn. Shouldn't that? I was about to say. What is up, everybody? MTG Dad back for another video. Today we're going to be looking at the Boba Green list, Boba Command list that got second at the recent 5K tournament with 143 players. So, I don't know if you've gotten a chance to look at this list yet, but if you haven't, one of the the obvious things that stand out is that cunning is in this list, right? And if you've played Boba Cunning, or if you've seen any of my earlier videos with that deck, it makes a lot of sense because that card is extremely overpowered. I would say that Vigilance and Cunning are the two of the strongest cards in the game in a vacuum, just by themselves. So putting it into this deck that's already extremely strong, and I would imagine that Cunning is what helped him win a lot of the mirror matches, since like 25% of the competition was Boba Green. Just the ability to exhaust 2 units and waylay one back, or even +4 one of your attackers and exhaust 2 units is just an amazing tempo swing. So I mean, just one copy of it in those mirror matches, I think, can just really swing the tempo of the game. And I would imagine that's why he did it. Another thing that stands out is the recruit. So in testing, it feels good. I guess he's playing a little bit less. He's only playing 30 units, whereas like a typical list, like my other list, I have 35 units. So it makes sense to search and kind of dig your deck. It only costs 1 resource, which is sweet. It's a card that I think has been overlooked a little bit. In testing, it feels great because you just, on those turn 4, 5, 6s, you're looking for Fett's Fire Spray and Vader. It's just really nice to just go find them. The 2 no good to me dead in the main board is another difference, which again, it's kind of like this deck is basically like Boba Cunning and Boba Green combined, and just put the best cards from both lists into one deck. So you still have your Super Laser Technicians, you still have your resupplies, a couple of Viper Pro Droids, and three Crafty Smugglers. One card that's lacking that I think is a very good card is Cartel Spacer. Just like having more space presence and being able to exhaust a unit when you play it. And that's a card that's still very good in Boba Cunning. And then the Consortium Star Viper is a big difference, right? And that's the card that you gain Subtle Life. So in testing here today, I'm going to see how it feels without the Star Viper, very specifically more against aggro. The Gamorrean Guard is also another change where they have the Sentinel in the main board. So a couple small differences. So in this version, I don't even play Gamorrean Guard and don't feel like I need it. I also play one of Ruck, which that might be a card I want to put into this other list as well. Ruck just is really good with the Energy Conversion Lab. And then I play 3 Battalion in the main, and they're only playing 2. And then to compare these two lists now to my Boba Cunning list, the biggest difference for me is in the Boba Cunning list. The biggest weakness for this deck, even with 30 HP, is that you can't gain life, and that you really need to be more aggressive than the aggressive decks, and you have to tempo them out, swing in with your surprise strikes and your cunning. Use it on a cunning turn where you exhaust 2 units and +4 one of your units. That can be really huge for swinging the tempo of the game. But you're not gaining life in this deck, and that's the biggest weakness. So you really need the Sentinel. So I have 2 block guards in the main, 1 in the side, and 2 Gamorrean Guards in the side. And that may even need to be a 3rd one and take out one of the Bounty Hunter crews, just because aggro decks are they can be such a problem if we don't find the right cards. Most of the time we do well because we just tempo them out with waylays and no good to me deads and cunnings. And then eventually we're able to, we can sometimes out aggro them, but on the games that we lose against aggro, it's because they just went too wide and just, you know, that's not what our strength is. Our strength is tempo and, we can be aggressive, and then cunning just is huge. Another big change is Body Rook. Obviously, you can't really play that in the green version because it's not really worth it for 5 resources to play a 3/3 that discards a card from your opponent's hand. So that's actually a big loss because that's one of the best cards in this deck. Because it just you play Viper Probe Droid into Body Rook, and you know that you're gonna get an event when you do it that way. And then Body Rook is still a 3/3, which is a solid attacker that you can surprise strike for 6 or cunning for 7 plus exhaust 2 units. So it's a really, really good card in this deck. So that's another card that you feel the loss. I also have a couple of Strafing Gunship, which is a really nice card that is nowhere to be found. So the biggest weakness here that I see, just right off the top, is you just have 3 7th Fleet Defender and 3 Fett's Fire Spray in space. So space is a huge weakness. Your only way to combat space against aggro is to overwhelming barrage one of your bigger units and take out all their space units while attacking in and killing their units on the ground. Definitely a viable strategy, but space is definitely where aggro can just run you over. So, my initial thinking is I want Consortium Star Viper in the main board, and I would probably take out the Gamorrean Guard and maybe, I don't know. I don't know what the third card would be yet, but that's my initial thought. But I kind of want to see how it goes in testing to see if there's any other changes I would make. But otherwise, I like the idea of it. Like, it makes a lot of sense. You're still playing Vader, Fett's Fire Sprays, your top end spells, Battalion's still in here doing Battalion things. They're playing the 3 Bossk. Like I said, I prefer 1 Rux. That's another card I might put in just because this card is just really good at coming in and killing the thing, and then you can put a shield on it afterwards. So, a death touch unit that can shield itself afterwards is just feels really sweet. So it can kill anything that's a non-leader. Bossk is great, but a lot of times 4 damage isn't enough. So that was my original thinking, and I've liked having that 1 Ruck in there. So that's another card I'm going to consider putting into this version of Boba Green. I do really like the Relentless. I think that's pretty important against control. Like just being able to counter, essentially you're countering their first event that they play. So being able to swing in with that, end game against control, I think is really nice. Emperor's Legion makes a lot of sense for control as well, because they're going to super laser blast you or potentially bombing run you, and then you can get those cards back into your hand. So that's pretty sweet. And it's only for 2 resources, so you most likely at that point in the game, let's say at 8 resources, you're gonna have 6 resources left over to play those units back. So that's pretty sweet. Makes a lot of sense. I already have this card in my Boba Green list, updated since Super Laser Blast started to get more and more popular. And then you have the standard reinforcement walker on the side. Otherwise, everything is about the same. 2 shoot first, 3 surprise strikes, 3 waylays. Again though, I think the biggest weakness is space. So, I think in this list we're playing what, 12 units in space? Or 11 or 12? I think it's 12 though. Yeah. 3, 6, 9, 12, yeah. So 12 units and then 23 on the ground, versus here we are playing 6 in space and 24 on the ground. So definitely a different take there. Another difference is they're not playing Traitorous, which that feels like, that feels definitely like like it hurts a little bit, because Traitorous can be really, really impactful against aggro too. Like especially when they like pump up one of their cheaper units with Wing Leader and then you steal it. Like that's the kind of thing that I love to do with traders. So, that's, but I guess traders kind of takes the cunning spot because cunning is 6 resources in this list. So, um, I think those are the biggest differences that I can tell. Change of heart as well in the sideboard for me. I don't see, yeah, no change of heart for them. So, I mean, you could argue that cunning could be in here in place of change of heart if you're just playing this version. Like, cunning's great. So, um, so you kind of get the idea of where this idea came from. You take these 2 decks that are very, very good. Both these decks are very good. Boba Cunning continues to be one of the hardest matchups to play against every single game that I play against it. It's never been like, oh wow, I rolled them over. It never feels like I steamroll Boba Cunning. So if that doesn't tell you a lot. But yeah, let's get into some games and see how testing goes. Clearly it did well though, regardless of my feedback. Um, he got 2nd place, so he did very, very well. I think playing against Vader is probably one of your worst matchups. So that is unfortunate for him. But I think, when you get into the semantics of different cards, it's more about playstyle, as I've said before. And what, card preferences that fit your playstyle. I always just like, going back to Consortium one more time, like I just always like that cushion of like 2 health because it makes me feel a little more comfortable about playing more aggressively versus playing more defensively. And that's, I know, I think I'm always more of, I lean on the aggressive side, even when I'm playing tempo or even when I'm playing control, especially against aggro decks, because I know that aggro decks can run me over in a turn. So I want to win quickly too, even though I'm playing a different style of deck. So, and Consortium just helps me to do that. Not only that, it's just a really good. It has stats. The stats are good. A 3/3 is good in space, so it can kill a lot of those weaker units like we were talking about earlier. Um, but yeah, let's get into some games and see how this one plays out for us. Okay, up against Vader Blue. This is my Vader Blue list that I just posted in the last video. I'm going to do a lot of that where I like play against my own list as long as Force Table is the client that we're using. And actually, I just saw on a Facebook Star Wars page that there isn't somebody that's working on a desktop and mobile client multiplayer gameplay, which is awesome because it'll be much better for testing out decks than playing against AI. But for now, this is what we got, so I'm going to keep using it. Let's see. So then I'm playing the 2nd place list here from the 5K tournament. I thought it was really cool because it was basically like combining Boba Cunning with Boba Green, and putting the best cards from both decks together, so you can kind of benefit from ramp as well as cunning. And then one of the unique cards is Gamorrean Guards, which is right here. Taking a mulligan here? No, we have a good hit. We're definitely resupplying on 2. Trying to think if we want Steadfast Battalion or... I don't want to resource both of them. It might just be... I don't think Gamorrean Guard's that useful in this match. I want to play like a lot of cheap units is the idea against Vader. Yeah, so they can either play Droid or Choke here. So, yep. I'll draw a card, thank you. Okay, we're just playing Resupply. Yeah, this isn't going to do as much because they're probably not going to play a unit this turn. And Well, they did, but I'd rather save it anyways. Okay. We can play Bossk here, or we can play. This is our Boba turn, so we can battalion in, get a resource, attack with Boba Fett, and then play another Boba Fett. Seems good, right? I don't think this is the car. Well, I could find Fett's fire spray that way. I mean, we could. Yeah, let's just do it like that. So we're going to action ability. Maybe we just play Bossk and just ambush it in. Yeah. Yes. Okay, that's totally fine that they wasted a force choke on that. We're gonna action ability deploy. Okay, that's fine. And we're attacking in. Get 2 more resources, and we're gonna play another resupply? That's an interesting thought. What's the reason we would do that? Should be way ahead in resources, but that's not what you want, I guess. You want to have units on the board, so that doesn't really make sense. We definitely don't need that. Make an opening. Okay. Attack here, so we might battalion here. Seems like a good time. But the Vader turn seems like a great time. So 6 mana. So we play. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Let's just do this first. See what we can come up with. Search for deck for unit, reveal it. Okay. So Fett's fire spray. That's pretty sweet. Vader's also sweet. Feeling like either one is a good choice. We can play this one this turn, so let's do that. Well, no, we already attacked with this, so never mind. So maybe Vader was better. Take our 3 here. Go face. Just go face. Swings, if we do that, it swings in for 7. We get 6 damage to their face. Take 3. Get another unit on the board. We also play Crafty Smuggler and Waylay just to get that unit off the board. That doesn't feel bad. Just because like it does have the ability to kill our units, so we don't need another one of these, I don't think. Cheap units are good though. But anyway, we're at 7 resources, so probably just either going fire spray. Good God. Okay. Yep, that's why the card's good. Yep. So it definitely helped. Good ambush this in. Just trade it with this, yeah. That feels like a good trade because Fett's Fire Spray definitely just is what's gonna win us the game against Vader. Whenever I've played Vader and had a hard time, it's always because of Fett's Fire Spray. Surprise Strike is good. So this is a good... Vader has 8 HP. Thinking we're gonna just smack him for 7. Which is what we were waiting for. Which unit are we gonna give +2, +2 to? Maybe we'll just give it to Fett's Fire Spray. Yeah, just because we can just kill this here. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that was good. Back up to 21. We play Greedo. Hopefully they don't have Super Laser Blast, which they might, but we have some really good cards here. Surprise Strike is good because 8 literally have the game if they don't kill one of our units, but fat chance that they don't kill one of our units. Honestly, I'm just gonna hold all these. We have 8 mana. There's not anything that we can play 2 of right now, so yeah. Well, that was stupid. They should have killed Greedo. I mean, because this is like a turn where you can literally go double Fett's Fire Spray. Not that we needed to, but that is a sweet thing about Vader, right? I'm trying to think if we played any unique cards. No, not really. Not in this matchup. Okay. We got the resupply. We have no units. That is really weird. We have 2 recruits though, so we can literally double recruit. Feels fine, I guess. I'm gonna keep this hand just to see. Barrage is like, it's like fine against them. Shoot first can go. Yeah, I think it's these 2 for now, just because we are in a position where we don't have anything. Okay, so we're gonna take... Recruit is definitely good. Feels good. We're a few turns off of Vader, so let's play another recruit. I mean, to get something down early here, do we go Greedo, or do we just go Fett's Fire Spray? Because we're gonna resupply next turn anyway, so yeah, that's not bad. Not bad. So our hand is fine after all that. How good is Sentinel here? I don't know. Let's just keep our big boys. Just not that big of a fan of Gamorrean Guard. We're just gonna Bossk. We get rid of 1 Bossk. Favorite thing about Bossk is I don't have to use an epic action. And then not to mention when you play cards, it's just good. Ouch. Let's just kill that. Might as well get our value out of it, right? Ooh. Cunning, cunning, cunning. Or Fett's Fire Spray. This is probably the Fett's Fire Spray turn. Okay, they're gonna get Luke. It's actually the no good to me dead turn. So does he want a no good to me dead Luke? Or just play Fett's Fire Spray. Or we could play Steadfast Battalion and kill Luke immediately. So let's just pass to Luke, yeah. Kill that. Take our 1 damage. Oh yeah, it didn't leave nothing left because Luke was already on the field. Late Lieutenant, gain a life, okay. They didn't even have damage. Just a cunning turn or Fett's Fire Spray? I feel like we're in a position where I just want a Fett's Fire Spray. Just want to kill something with Boba here. Sure. Okay. Another at 1, so I do want to play cunning. Not really. Actually. Okay, so let's just... What is this? A 4/5? Let's just play Fett's Fire Spray. What was the wrong thing to put a shield on? We're just gonna take get our 7 damage in. Alright, gonna be at 8. I mean, I think cunning Crafty Smuggler or cunning no good to me dead feels pretty good. Should just get face. Okay, Wing Leader has a +1 upgrade. Oh, Devotion, okay. So we play No Good to Me Dead on Wing Leader. I hate waylaying Fleet Lieutenant. Just not the greatest. I guess we can just... Yeah, none of these units are ones that I want to send back. So we'll just do that, okay. Wait, did I just give that +4? God. Goodness. My goodness. My goodness. Sometimes, man. Sometimes. So they'd be at 27. Okay. I don't think it matters anymore anyways, but again, we don't need that. That was smart. So we're playing cunning +4. Exhaust 2 units. There we go. Now we did it correctly. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, cunning is just nuts with Fett's fire spray. Just swinging in for a 9. I mean, cunning in general is nuts. And that's why I liked this list, because like, this card is so good, I'm just surprised it took somebody... I mean, it was, you know... I'm surprised we didn't see more of these Boba Green lists with cunning in it. You have all these lists with vigilance for 6, like, why not just use cunning for 6? Such a good card. You could see what they resourced, because they just did not do anything this game. Okay, here we're playing this version of Boba Green versus the typical version. Let's see how this goes. Smuggler. I don't want to get rid of Greedo or Sentinel, especially because we have all yellow units. Don't want to get rid of this. But I mean, are we just playing Smuggler into Boba Fett? Yeah, I mean, it stays on curve, right? Yep. Just take that out. Boba. They did nothing? Just feels weird, man. Playing Gamorrean here? Yeah, I'm not trying to outrun them with damage. Okay, sure. Sure, okay. They have a resupply? No, just a strafing gunship. Overwhelming barrage and Vader or Steadfast Battalion. I feel like barrage is a very good card to have here. On a turn when we play other units, so is Battalion, so we can just kill that. I don't want to get rid of Cunning just for the exact reason of trying to use this card next turn, potentially. But it's like these are all heavy hitter cards in my hand right now. So like, what do you do? I mean, I guess Vader just because it's 2 turns away. Ugh. Well, isn't that nice? Ouch. This is a 5/6 right now. I couldn't even kill it if I wanted to. Yeah, I think we're just going face. Okay, they went face, which makes sense. They don't necessarily need to kill Boba. But they could have. Yeah, because then they would have taken 1 damage. So. Alright, now we just play our barrage, or do we just kill this? I think we just kill this. Yeah. I love Steadfast Battalion. It is so good. Barrage. Ouch. cunning exhaust? Doesn't seem bad. Turn that to... Wait, where did it go? Did they get the card back? Shouldn't that go back? Okay, I was about to say. I was about to say. Yeah, so there's a cunning coming in huge, coming in hot. Yeah, that's not gonna do it. Yeah, it's an interesting matchup. I mean, I love cunning, so I think it was good to see this list be successful because I think going forward, this is how I would play this deck. After the game, after these games, I'll definitely tweak the list a little bit just for playstyle. I think I'll go up to, I don't know. I'm trying to think if I want to do Laser Technician or Resupply more, but I'll probably tweak it a little bit. But I like the 2 cunning. I think that's gonna stay for sure. Okay, up against a Krennic deck that had won a 90, was it 90 players a tournament a couple weeks ago. What a weird hand. 2 Barrages, 3 Bobas, and a Vader. I think this is a mulligan. Against a controlled... Yeah, we're going to be low to the ground. I think Vader's good, it's just expensive. Smuggler... We need like another cheap unit. Okay, there's a cheap unit. I feel like that card's gonna be a problem. Just get rid of this, maybe. Shoot first with Greedo. Next turn we can kill that. Surprise strike, we can kill this. Do we care? A little bit. I think what makes this deck hard is that they can out aggro you and gain life because of his ability. So I do think it matters to kill things. So that's the route I'm going to go. Resupply turn. Definitely just gonna play resupply here so we can get Boba out. Okay, that's fine. Want to do that? I guess. Nice. I guess. Ooh. Yep, Krennic coming down hot. Well. Each friendly damage unit gets +1. So to be swinging to Krennic here. With Boba, then it becomes a 3/7 with Restore 2. And we can ambush in Bossk after that. Yeah, because if it didn't have 7 HP, then I would do it differently, but Okay. Just take the initiative here. Probably. Oh, the bike. The bike, the bike, the bike. We definitely play Bossk. Kill that. Bike has what, 4? You take 1. Seems like a good trade. You haven't done any damage to them yet. Ouch. Okay. Vader's good. I think at this point I'd rather have a Sentinel. Yep, Viper Pro Droid it is. Ambush. Okay. Resupply. Gideon. Kill Battalion. Sure. Attack here. Get it for 4. Start turning things around now. She first isn't bad. Really, all these cards aren't bad, so I'm just gonna hold them. Another battalion, so I think just to avoid having to do that again, I'm going to just go face here and get in for damage. I guess I could have done shoot first, right? Sure. I could have. Could have. Totally done shoot first. But, oh well. Didn't think about it. Just get another Bossk. Sure. Okay. Cunning is good. It's funny, I just been sitting on this Fett's Fire Spring. Ouch. That stinks. Ouch, that was a really good one. And it's +3, +2. Yeah, so now I'm really regretting that decision. It's got 2 damage. 7. Should play Cunning and waylay it back to their hand and give ourselves +4. Seems pretty good. Okay. Does it have 4 less power though? No. It's exhausted. Just go. We just outrun them here. Okay. These are all good cards. So we're probably not bosking here. Probably just going Fett. I think we're waylay. Yep. Fett. Feels good. I see why it got second place. Okay. Up against Leia beatdown here, so we can see if we can deal with the constant aggro assault that Leia is going to bring on to us. No, I like her hand. I think it's just typical. Here, Fett, yeah, because I mean, cunning serves a lot of purposes in this matchup. Green Squadron is like the card you never want to see on turn 1. This one's tough too, because I don't know if I want to go Super Laser or Boba. Sentinel's important, so I don't... Bossk is good. Is ramping that great? I guess. I mean, it gets us to Boba a turn earlier. Not getting rid of a cunning. It's either Bossk or Boba. Because if they play a unit on the ground, which they're highly likely to, I'm going to ambush and Super Laser Technician. I guess it's Boba, oddly. Yeah, okay. Wish we had something to squeeze in. Don't need another one of those. Could Boba 6/6? Yeah, let's do that. Okay, well, they're both attacking. Not much we can do about that. Just I think we attack first here and see what they do. Okay, so we're definitely playing. Barrage. That's a 5 damage, so we kill those two. Yeah, simple. Okay, so we do 5, 1, attack, boom, pass, emptied the board. Okay, we're at 6. So we go Gamorrean, no good to be dead. Probably save cunning for a different turn. Save Bossk as well. Well, we're definitely doing this, since that's the first thing that they did. Yeesh. Take the initiative here. So we take the initiative, we exhaust 2 things and waylay the other one. Yeah, because if we don't, then they'll just attack in, so. It's such a, but that's a lot of damage, like we cannot take that damage. So, shoot first is good. So Fleet Defender's good, Bossk is good, they're all good. Do I want to have shoot first plus cunning? I think so. So I'm gonna let that go because they are representing more cards. So we're returning, or we're just exhausting 2 units and then we're just plussing 4, I think, because Leia's still exhausted. +4, so exhausting, boom and boom. Then we're giving this. I'm trying to take out Leia. So use this so that it becomes a 4/2, and then we shoot first. Or no, we don't even need to shoot first. We can just kill it. Okay. Well, there you go. So we shoot first on this. Trade Sentinel. Boom. Okay, then we attack in here, kill Leia. Boom. We attack in here. Take our 2. Okay. Smuggler's better with the shield. Taker 3. I think we're just going face now. Now we're just racing. Now that we've stabilized for the most part. Just had to beat up their units for a while, right? Yeah. No reason to resource anything. Yeah, that's damage. It is damage. It's a lot of damage, actually. Can we win this turn? I think so, but my goodness. Yeah, I think we can get there. But it was literally extremely close. Wow. Yeah, I mean, that's a tough matchup for Boba, is Leia, because they could just run you over. In this particular version, you don't have the consortium in the main, so that's definitely in the sideboard. You'd bring that card in. And that's the one thing that I was like wondering about, is like, how does this deck deal with aggro? But I guess it's just you just have to bring those cards in if you don't play it in the main. I might put it in the main just because I don't like to. I mean, this is obvious, but I don't like to lose game 1, because then it makes the matchup that much harder. So I like my main board to be more well-rounded for both aggro and control, so that I can deal with both. Obviously the Sentinel helps, but if they go up in space and they have a raid red 3, like, or a green wing with a wing leader, like, and they're swinging for 5 or 6 every time in space, and one of the weaknesses of Boba is they don't have very good space units. They don't have like a Sentinel or anything. So that's how aggro beats you, it just goes up in space, which makes a ton of sense. So that's why Consortium is so important, because not only can it trade favorably with a lot of these 2-3 units like the red 3 and the Alliance wing, the wing leader, the green wing, all of them really. It also gains you 2 life if you have the initiative. So it just seems like that needs to be in the main board. I mean, this matchup is against AI, and they were that close to beating me. Like, if I didn't get to 30 this turn, like, they would have beat me. Because they hold the initiative. Leia's going to hold the initiative. There's just not anything I can do about it. They're doing less actions every turn, so. Okay, playing against the Sabine green list that finished 3rd at that same tournament, so very similar matchup to Leia, where we basically just want to remove their units early until we can kind of take over the board with our resource advantage and our bigger units. I think Sabine is a little bit of an easier matchup because they can't hold the initiative as easy as Leia can, which definitely matters in a matchup where we both have 25 HP and very little life gain. So we're going to keep this hand. This is good. So I'm guessing because we're playing aggro, we're going to laser technician. We have really good units, so do we care about recruit? I don't think so. So on turn 4, what are we doing? Just playing Boba? Yeah. Okay, Medal Ceremony to your red 3, Sabine. So Sabine's coming. So we can go ahead and take that out. Trying to do it, just laser technician here. Let's try to do it differently. Let's take out Sabine this way. Could play Boba here, because all they have is either red 3. What was the other one? Fighters for Freedom. So I mean, either way, we're still This way we can hold the initiative too. Like, yeah. So either way, we're still playing Boba this turn. Yeah, we're just getting into our bigger things here. So we're gonna action ability. This out. Got 2 units. Okay. So we can play Bossk here, I guess. Either way, we're taking 3, right? So let's take out the bigger threat, or the one that has reach. So we're getting back to 5, yeah. Take our hit from Sabine. Then we attack. I mean, we have to attack here because we want to kill it with Bossk. Yep. Yep. Okay. That worked out nicely. And I think we're just gonna barrage here. Makes the most sense, right? So we make this 6, we do 3, 3. Pass. Okay, yeah, I figured that was coming. Really don't want to take 5. Or we can ambush in Vader, right? Yeah, I'm not taking 5 damage and losing my units. You're definitely a little bit behind, but Vader, I think, puts us over the top. Yep, they're attacking in. Take 5, okay. R2's not a threat. We should have this one about wrapped up. Yeah. So it was close though. Definitely by no means was it smooth sailing. Like, it was a close one. Just the barrage was the key. I think if we didn't get barrage, we probably would have lost. I mean, I guess we could have, our alternative would have been playing Fett's Fire Spray, so maybe not, but yeah. So you can see again though that subtle gain from Consortium is what we're missing in these matchups. Because that subtle gain, let's say we hit him in for 2 times, we'd be down to 16 damage. So I think I definitely want it back in the main board. I always liked having it in there, so. And like I said, it gives us more units in space. So, you know, kind of after wrapping up testing Bubba some more and, you know, testing out the cunning felt great. I really liked it in the main. I've had a lot of experience with cunning, so I think that made a lot of sense. I think if you haven't played cunning before, you really need to play the Boba cunning deck first to get a feel for how that deck operates, to get a sense of how you can fit cunning into this deck if that's what you want to do. But it's definitely a card you need to play test a lot before you just put it into Boba Green. 2 is definitely the right number though if you're going to do it. So in my version, I am keeping the Ruck and then keeping the Bossk down to 2. My thinking again is that sometimes Bossk, when it ambushes in, doesn't kill things. Ruck is, I can benefit off of Energy Conversion Lab, kill a thing, and then put a shield on it. I don't play as many events in my version, I'm sorry, for it to be 3 Bossk. If I was playing more events, that I would probably go up to 3 Bossk. But with the no good to me deads in the side, I just felt like I really like Ruck. It's just a personal preference. I like having the option to have that death touch unit come out of nowhere and just kill a thing that's a non-leader unit. So it's just really useful for killing really big units and not needing to have barrage. Just enough. So Bossk is not going to be able to kill a big unit. Um, and Ruck can really kill those things that have got a bunch of counters on it and things like that. So um, the other thing that I put the Consortium Star Viper and took the Gamorrean Guards out. So the main differences from his list, after I changed it, I put the Gamorrean Guards and the no good to me dead in the sideboard. I'm trying to think what the other subtle change was. Those are the main things. But yeah, I mean, I like it where it's at. It feels great. It's very consistent. I feel a little stronger in the air now. So, ideally, because you are stronger on the ground in this deck and weaker in the air, you're going to use those barrage turns to take out threats in the air. So, you know, it definitely helps to have Consortium there though, because like I said, Consortium can remove things. It can take a hit usually against a lot of those 1/3s and 2/3s that are up in the air. And then while taking one out, it gains 2 life. So that's amazing for swinging the game tempo into your favor. I have 3 Viper Pro Droid compared to the 2 Crafty Smuggler, and the reason, and I've talked about this before, it's just that Viper Pro Droid has 3 power, so I get to look at their hand, which is nice, but not necessary, but definitely helpful. And then I'm using Viper Probe Droid to either swing in for 6 damage with Surprise Strike, or I'm using it to take out like an Echo-based defender so that my bigger units can get around that. So it's very good at like clearing the path for my bigger units to take over and win the game. Another thing I really liked was Recruit. So Recruit is, I talked about it earlier, it's good for finding those bigger things to close the game. It's extremely important for getting the Super Laser Technician out early in the game. So early in the game, you play that on 1, and you dig for the Super Laser Technician so you can make sure you get that ramp. Super Laser Technician is amazing in this deck, so it's great at finding that early to make sure you hit your ramp spells, which makes your chances of winning a lot better. So super important. So I definitely like where this list is at. In the comments, please let me know what success you've had with Boba Green and any changes that you've made recently, or if you put cunning into your list. Let me pull up my Boba Cunning list one more time, I can pull up this one too, of his second place list. So I have a lot of decks in here. Do a lot of play testing, but that's what you got to do, man. Okay, so we'll kind of look at it. Here's his list again. And I kind of talked about what I liked about it. A couple of things I didn't like about it as much. I mean, he had the 3rd Battalion in the side. He had the Consortiums in the side. But I prefer those main. Gamorrean Guard to me is just very, I think you got to play more like cartel spacers and things like that to make it more useful consistently, because you have to have a cunning unit on board for it to be a sentinel. So it's just not a very good sentinel. I honestly, a lot of times, prefer Cell Block Guard. I get why you use Gamorrean Guard, because it can take a hit. It's good for overwhelming barrage, things like that, to give you the 6 damage. But it's just not my favorite card to play. And I think a lot of these subtle changes come into your playstyle. What feels comfortable to you? What feels good? So yeah, here's my updated list where I'm at right now. It's very consistent. I talked about a Ruck being the 1/1 of as kind of my replacement for Bossk, the 3rd Bossk, and the reason. But otherwise, the list is incredibly consistent. So I'm gonna be consistently doing the same things every game. which is the way I like to play most decks. There's some decks where I like one-ofs, but that's usually because they're more either they're extensions of another card, like a restock is extending a vigilance, for example, or um, it just kind of depends. But that's where we're at, and that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. There's definitely I've talked about this a little bit more. There's definitely a couple of online platforms that are coming out. I've started to test out a couple, but they are glitchy and they don't work right. But I know that the developers are working out the kinks. I think within the next month or so there should be some videos coming out where I'm able to play against other people online. So I'm looking forward to that. Um, but y'all have a good one. Peace out.